All right, guys, I watched this video for Wednesday, January 25th. Quick glance at the SPY. It looks like it's trying to squeeze up out of this little kind of flag here to maybe new all-time highs. A little extra volume today, so trying to break to the upside. So we've got a strong market. So here's what I have for my watch list for Wednesday. Bear with me a second here. All right, I like this OREX after this big pop back here. Really nice flag for what, maybe 2.5 weeks. Definitely wanted to go on watch with that one. See if we can't get a break out of that flag one of these days. ETRM, not a very pretty chart, but it's been on watch the last few days. And you guys know, if you watch my videos, this thing made a huge move, and then it came back down. Just made a huge move back down. Then they had the inside day, but we had a nice big trade in it that day. And so as long as the stock is performing, I'm going to keep it on watch. Okay, then this day, no trades. And then today, gapped down and was actually called in a room by Oki over 720 right here. And it popped real quick to almost 780. That was a nice trade. Made some money there. And you know what? It held up pretty well since. So I think this gapped down on news this morning, but held up pretty well. So a lot of times you catch shorts off guard. And again, with this thing's history, I would never look at this daily chart and say, ooh, I want to watch that tomorrow. But because of the history of this thing, and because I'm a day trader, this thing can make nice moves. Goes on watch. Simple as that. URRE. This thing, after the gap down, I think on a secondary, is really just chopping around. But if you look at uranium, the metal itself, big breakout today. I mean, and just a few days ago, uranium looked like it was rolling over, right? So look at that. Big breakout. This thing may overcome its secondary and really get going here. Certainly like it over this tight pattern. I don't have a trigger price, but definitely want to watch that one. That's URRE. SGY, just a quiet day after this. He had this really nice 2-day move from, I'll give you the numbers here, 657 low to the very next day, 995, right? And then had an inside day closing at its lows, and then today closing, it's really kind of coiled right below that $9. So if this thing can break through, and let's look at 5-minute candles here, it pierced through 9. I don't want to brag, but I have to tell you this. I actually called this long somewhere in here today, and I ended up getting a 400 share sell at 903, which was the high of day. As this was breaking through 9, I just threw out a partial order for the shares that I had, sort of randomly using the matrix on TradeStation. Threw out 500 shares. Again, I was just looking for a quick push through 9 for some shares, right? And so I just chose 903 really quickly, and ended up getting 400 of my 500 shares sold at the highest print of the day. The only reason I say that is I've been trading for decades, and this is maybe the second time I sold at the high print of the day. There's a reason for me telling you that. We always want to take, as day traders, the middle of the move out, and we never, except for now 2 times in a couple decades for me, we never sell the top, right, or buy the bottom or sell the top. And because of that, just remember to take money, take profits out of those small moves and tighten up your stop on the rest. But it is kind of cool that I sold the top there. All right, so this goes back on watch because of this kind of quiet day today after a couple days where it was really trying to push up. Definitely worth watching. BIOC, big bounce today. I had this on watch for so many days in a row, and I never caught a trade in it. Never caught a trade in it. I mentioned it maybe over 154 when it looked like this, and some folks took it because you had yesterday's high just above, and you got to move to like 161 and right back down into the range. I'll tell you that it's not the best time of year for these low price, low float stocks. So my expectations are a little lower. Generally, they don't work as well, to be honest with you, during earnings season. And so, having said that, it was a very nice bounce closing at the highs of the day, and with this huge move back here, and now it's finally found support. It definitely has to go on watch, but I did not catch a trade in that today. I'm just want to watch it for a follow through tomorrow. PULM after this big pop is just in a range, right? The last 5 days are in a very clean range from here to here. It did close above its open today. I'm just looking for a possible breakout of this range to the upside, so it goes back on watch. MJN goes back on watch. It's still in this flag. That was on watch for yesterday. ASYS. Big pop today. We don't ever want to teach people to chase. And so, it's certainly extended, but sometimes you get a crazy second day perfect setup and it rips again. So it goes on watch. But this one needs to be on watch for the next several days. And then lastly, I'm going to throw APRI on watch because really after this pop, it's still kind of flagging. If I zoom in a little bit here, you know, you could argue that after the initial pop, it's formed a range, right, from about 280 down to whatever it is, 210. You've got a couple days lower coming back. It had a nice bounce off the 8-day here, so maybe we get another bounce off the 8-day tomorrow. So I'm going to keep APRI on watch. I think that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, we'll add some gappers as a group. Teamwork in the chat room in the morning, and we'll also be watching all of these stocks I just showed you, and hopefully catch a nice trade tomorrow. All right, have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.